We can now go across to ABC News' correspondent, Jordana Miller, standing by in Jerusalem. Jordana, good afternoon to you. Over 10,500 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, and this, of course, comes as Israel's ground offensive intensifies.
That's right. The Israeli army says that its forces are now operating in the depths of Gaza City, in the heart of what they believe is Hamas's stronghold, its headquarters, where its leaders, the most important ones, are hiding in bunkers, its vast tunnel network, and many of its arms are stored. So Israel is there, and on the 1-month anniversary since Hamas's deadly surprise attack on October 7th, we heard from Israel's prime minister and the defense minister kind of going over these achievements. And they say that they have killed a significant number of Hamas commanders. They've destroyed 100 tunnels. They've confiscated 4,000 different kinds of weapons, and that they are making progress. But it has to be said that this is really just the beginning of the fight. Everyone here acknowledging that it's going to be weeks of fighting at least to really get to the heart of Hamas's infrastructure and basically those tunnels, which are sophisticated, numerous, and very well guarded. And Israel's trying its best to destroy them, but this is going to be one of the biggest challenges. Also, what to do about Al-Shifa Hospital, where Israel believes Hamas leaders are hiding. And yet there are sick people there. Israel, it appears, wants to evacuate patients before any operations at the hospital. It's not clear that Hamas will let that happen. So still a lot of uncertainty, but Israel appears satisfied with the first almost 2 weeks of this ground offensive.
Of course, they have to go after Hamas while also ensuring the safety of those 240-odd hostages. Now, Jordana, G7 foreign ministers came out with a statement earlier on today. The group condemned Hamas and called for humanitarian pauses in the Gaza Strip to get that aid to the civilian population. Now, we had the U.S. Secretary of State who said Israel should not reoccupy Gaza. The statement, of course, comes after Benjamin Netanyahu suggested managing the enclave security indefinitely.
The United States believes key elements should include no forcible displacement of Palestinians from Gaza. Not now, not after the war. No use of Gaza as a platform for terrorism or other violent attacks. No reoccupation of Gaza after the conflict ends. No attempt to blockade or besiege Gaza. No reduction in the territory of Gaza.
Jordana, yesterday we had Benjamin Netanyahu who gave that rare interview to ABC News where he suggested Israel would play a role in handling Gaza's security indefinitely. What's the domestic reaction over in Israel been to that interview?
Well, Netanyahu talking to the network I work for, ABC News, and telling David Muir that Israel, will indefinitely be in charge of the security responsibility for the Gaza Strip. Now, to the outside world, that might sound like governing. It might sound like reoccupying. But in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, we have to remember that it doesn't necessarily mean that. When you look at the West Bank and some of the arrangements under Oslo, there are places that the Palestinian Authority is the governing body, and Israel still has the right, for security reasons, to go in and carry out arrest raids. I believe that is what the Prime Minister was indicating. And that is what his closest advisor, Ron Dermer, kind of clarified in an interview with the BBC. That is, Israel doesn't have any intention to reoccupy, to send settlers there, to govern, or to displace Palestinians, but Israel will be in charge of the security indefinitely until the international community can figure out who would be the responsible party to take over the Gaza Strip, whether that'll be the Palestinian Authority or some kind of consortium of Arab countries, possibly even the UN. So that is what the Prime Minister meant. And I think there's a unilateral position here among Israeli leaders that Israel will have to initially take care of the security responsibility until there is someone who is deemed capable of doing that.
Jordana, thank you very much for the update. Jordana Miller reporting there from Jerusalem.